welcome back to this year's PGC Coaches Circle. We're excited to have you back, and if you're new, welcome. We're just here to support you and walk you through the season and be an aid to you any way that we possibly can. So we look forward to taking this journey with you. Our season started, we're a couple weeks into practice and a couple weeks away from a game. I'm having a blast coaching my team. I'm looking forward to hearing your stories about your team. This year's Coaches Circle is going to be just a little bit different. We're going to have a lot more webinars, opportunities for us to actually just walk you through the process and answer any questions that might come up. We love doing that. We love supporting coaches. So me, our PGC team, and our friends in the basketball world are going to every other week put on a webinar to answer your questions. We'll shoot out that schedule in an email to you so that you know when to lock in those dates and times and put it on your calendar for the webinar. Each week we're going to give you a leadership thought of the day. We're going to give you a basketball thought of the day, and we're also going to give you a basketball drill. The following week will be a webinar, and we'll alternate weeks as we go. So let's get started. Here we go. All right, coaches, today's thought of the week is brought to you by our friends at TeamSnap. And when I was at a seminar, I heard this quote, and I thought of all of you coaches out there, and it resonated with me as a coach, but it goes something like this. It's likely that the most significant contribution you will make to this world is not something you will actually do, but somebody that you will raise. Let me say that again. It's likely that the biggest contribution you will make to this world is not something you do, but somebody you raise. And here's exactly why I started thinking about you as coaches. As the season is upon us, I know how many lives we have in our hands, how many players we have the opportunity to impact. And I know that we're about impact. So we've given a position of leadership where young people are going to come to us and they're going to look for us to lead them not only in basketball, but in life. So don't forget how important it is for you to raise them well. When you're thinking about your contribution and your legacy, remember that it's probably not something you're going to do, but more likely somebody that you're going to raise. Coaches, now for the basketball thought of the week. And I was thinking, what could I share in this first week that would be really impactful to you? So I thought I'd share something from our own program that's really important to us. All of you are building your program on some sort of foundation. We refer to those as the 4 pillars of our program. I'm going to share a couple of ours with you. What do you want your program to be about? So we put them on wood, we design these, we put them up in our locker room, we carry them with us on the road. But our first one is it's not about you. We talk to our players all the time about it's not about you, it's about the team. And coaches too. And at any point, if we as coaches make it about us, we want players to remind us it's not about us. We think that correlates to life as well. We like all of our lessons to parallel not only basketball, but life. The second one is extreme accountability. And I'll tell you, we pull this one out to practice often when we get into defense, is that extreme accountability. We don't want players pointing fingers. We want players giving thumbs up. We want players acknowledging the good work they did. And whenever they make a mistake, extreme accountability. One of the things you hear us say at PGC is it's always the fault of the better player. And we tell our players if something went wrong and you're the better player, take ownership over it. Funny thing is they start fighting over who should have ownership of that and whose fault it really was rather than pointing fingers. And the last one is a board that we step across every day, and it says above the line. And we talk about living life above the line. As a team, we do a little project where we go on in a little retreat and we talk about what does above the line look like. What does greatness look like in different aspects? And so every day we come out to practice, we put that on the floor and we ask our players to step over it. We say, listen, if you're ready to play and practice above the line, step over this board. And if you're not, don't. And occasionally we have players that need a day off, and I understand that. Maybe even a coach that needs a day off. Because sometimes you can't always bring the full capacity you have to be a great teammate with great energy, with great passion. Some days it's just a tough day. You don't know what might be going on in their life. But when you step over that line, we expect the best of you. So every single day as a team and as a coaching staff, we step over the line. So those are a few of our pillars that make a real impact on our team. I'd love to hear what some of your pillars are in your program. And if you don't have them, start building them out. Everyone in your program has got to speak the same language. Everybody's got to know what you stand for and what you're trying to accomplish. So think about building out your pillars. All right, coaches, now we're going to transition into the drill of the week, and we've got diamond communication passing. All right, coaches, here is our first drill of the year, and right here is diamond communication passing. I'm going to walk you through it right now. You can see they're in a diamond formation, and you can have 4, 6, 8 players, however many players you want to have in the drill. We put 2 extra to work on communication, and I'll explain it as we're going here. But they just changed to the left hand. We're working on a few things. First of all, see everybody on their catch is getting squared up. We're getting used to getting squared up every single time that we catch. We're working on footwork. Then we're working on pivots with all our right-handed guys. We're using a left foot pivot, and vice versa with left hand. We're using that right foot pivot. And you can see that we're looking for on-target passes, looking to block and catch, looking to get squared up every single time. And so you see the gist of it. We went right first. After that, we're going left is what you see right now. And you can see the players coming in from behind, and they're letting that player make a pass or two, and then they're subbing for that player. And we're working on communication, keeping it rolling, and being able to get somebody in the moment and still be available to catch. So you can see these guys are coming behind a guy. They'll make a pass. They'll step in for him, and then they'll rotate again. So we're having them communicate to each other. So now we're not just working on passing, but we're also working on communication. So now you see them going one bounce. So they're going one bounce outside hand. They're trying to get the ball quickly from their hand up into their pass pocket right here and get it out. You know, a lot of times the difference in getting a clean shot look is a half second. So we're trying to get guys that can get it out of their hands really quick. So this diamond passing is a drill that I got from a friend, and we've just added a few things to it. But they're working on communication. They're working on passing with their outside hand. They're working on pivot feet. They're working on getting squared up every single time. And we're also working on a quicker release off the dribble to get the ball to a shooter. So it has multiple benefits, and we're emphasizing different things, and sometimes we emphasize some things more so than others. But that's diamond communication passing.